Okay, welcome back to Jones Codes. I hope you liked that short video I had just a little bit ago. I posted a little bit ago here. It's actually uploading right now to YouTube about some of the starter basic language of C Sharp. And we've got this program still, this console program project opened in Visual Studio still. As you can see, I just labeled it Training 1. I'm just going to try to put together a bunch of short training videos. Now, in our first video, we discussed a basic kind of layout of the C# syntax, and again, this is just in general, but you'll have a data type, a name, and a value, and this is basically when you learn any C# program, they teach you this specific almost specific order when you learn it just about anywhere, which starts with what is C#, what are variables, write your first C# program, hello world, how to print things out, print text, getting user input, making comments, the general things that you learn in programming languages. So that's what we kind of did in the first video, just again a short glimpse at, okay, here's, you start with variables. What's a variable? It reserves, space in memory for storing values, and these are the things you use to to execute your code and execute your program. So again, we went over this, the fundamental basics of when you look at something like these two, like this line right here, what am I looking at? Well, you're looking at an integer data type. We called it X, we just made that up, and it's got a value of 7. Data type, name, value. Data type, name, value. Don't forget those things. Those are the things, like, as new people like myself, or babies to this whole programming, web development, developer, all this stuff, situations. These are the things you have to burn into your brain, because fundamentals are the key to being great at anything, and I'm just trying to get an understanding. I'm not even good yet. I'm not even even a little good. So, so going back to what we kind of building off what we had earlier, we were able to, go over the console write line method, and then we basically just created this argument here. We passed this argument, which what is x plus y, and we were able to get the output in our console window, which was 21, obviously. So that's a pretty simple way of just creating something and displaying text, displaying output versus putting together a string of hello world. But let's just try that anyway, because that's another data type. This is a data type for whole numbers, integer, but another data type you can use is a string, which is pretty common in several programming languages. So for example, this is a pretty good example here, so you can get user input. You can do it. You can create a string data type, and let's just call it your name. Okay. Now it's not gonna. Now this one is we'll just do one that doesn't have a value to it. We're just gonna create a method below it of a console dot write line. And basically what we're going to do by doing this, we are going to ask our user, once the program starts, what is your name? And going to give them a chance to input that name, and then it's going to say hello to them, okay? So what we've done up here is we've created a string called your name. Let's see here. Wait, hold on a second here. Oh, okay, so it's just tell me I haven't used it yet. Okay. Okay, so you can basically prompt the user to enter kind of data basically, and then use the console read line method to assign the input to like a string variable. So this example here, we're going to ask again. We're going to ask the user for their name, and display these. We're going to display a message that includes that input. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the console read line method. It's going to wait for the user input and then assign it to the variable we have here. So the next statement that will be displayed is a string or formatted kind of string containing hello with the user input. So like if someone enters David, it'll say hello David. So how we do that is once we've created a variable up here. This is going back to what we said earlier again. Data type name, right? Data type name. Sometimes there's a value. In this case, there's not right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use your name. And again, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier with the console read line. Read line. Okay. So far what we have is when this block of code executes, when we hit start, it's going to ask the user what their name is. Once that's entered, it's going to, which is by the way, you have to use the semicolons at the end of each line to move it to the next line of code. It's going to then, our program's then going to read what they entered, and then we are going to have it output let's see, a message hello, and then you have to basically put a container in here to reserve a space for whatever name they put in, and your name. Excuse me. There you go. So again, just to explain this really quickly, we created a string called your name, and then this is a Visual Studio C# console application. So it's text only, and no graphics at this point, even though I did mess with the graphics class the other day, which was really cool. But anyway, real simple. It's going to have you pop up. It's going to have a pop-up that says, what is your name? And it's going to read the name, and it's going to give them another message output that says hello, whatever name that you put in there, and you have the name of your variable right here. Again, the data type is there. We called it this. This is your name. So again, just data type name, data type name. Perfect. All right. So let's see here. Go ahead and I think with console application, it's Control F5. What is your name? We'll do Jones. Hello, Jones. Pressing the key to continue. So yeah, as you can see here, executed perfectly. And there you go. Pretty fancy, huh? Not really fancy, but it's something. So, all right. Thank you.